Oh boy, finally time to open up this box. Oh, I guess I better clean up all of this PC garbage first. Hello there, I'm Steve from Mac84, and today we're finally gonna, hopefully, finish our work on this Compaq Presario tower. If you haven't seen the previous videos I did on this subject, well, they're in the corner there where you could find the links in the video description. But this thing has taken us for quite a wild ride. First off, I bought it because there was supposedly a SuperDisk drive in there, an LS120 drive hiding in the floppy bay over there. But yeah, apparently that was swapped out along with the CD-ROM drive. And the hard drive was dying. So we replaced the hard drive with a blue SCSI. And although that worked, it was a bit of a convoluted effort to get this computer to have SCSI capabilities. So now the machine works, we're booting off of our blue SCSI, but I do want to try two things. I want to upgrade the graphics card with one of these PCI graphics cards, and we'll see if one of these SuperDisk drives will fit in this computer, or more than one. So be sure you're subscribed and stay tuned. I almost forgot to take the video memory module out of this machine. Last time we shoved that in to try and get more performance out of it, but it didn't work because it was too fat to fit in that slot. But we're going to try different graphics cards, but before we do that, I just want to boot up the machine, make sure it still works, and maybe uninstall those graphics drivers to prevent any headaches in the future. Come on. You booting up or not? Oh, you know what? I bet the SCSI card came loose. All right, there we go. It still sees all the SCSI devices, so that's good. So I guess if I want to install this Matrox card, I will have to uninstall the, I think it's ATI drivers. Or I guess we can just leave them in there, because, yeah, I guess we have to leave them in there, otherwise we won't have anything. All right, let's go online and see if we could get the drivers for this video card that we're going to install. All right, so we're going to extract this download of the driver, and hopefully this installation will be straightforward without pain and suffering. Well, at least I could hope. Make sure your Matrox graphics hardware is properly installed. Okay, so we have to put the card in first and then install this. Good to know. There we go. I swear, even the simplest of tasks. Computer setup and boot. I've never seen this before. That can't be good. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Ooh, PCI to PCI bridge adapter. That's a lot of PCIs. Let's adjust this thing. There we go. Now it sees it. Matrox Millennium G450 dual head DVI PCI. Yes, now I'll restart. We seem to be stuck here after that restart. So I'm going to do the 3-finger salute and hopefully we'll get this thing back up and running again. And that won't do it. Did this panel become disconnected again? Probably. Where's the blasted power button? Ah, Windows 98. When just simply adding a graphics card makes the computer stop working. I see some activity lights on the blue SCSI. Wait, wait. Oh, thank goodness. Again, stuttering on startup. Very reassuring for that sound. Matrox software has detected a secondary device connected to your hardware. No, there's nothing else connected except the monitor. Thank you. No, I'm not registering. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's pushy. Well, let's go to settings here. And we're at, let's go to 1024 by 768. There we go, that's beautiful. 32-bit color. Schneider lens. Perfect. Let's see if Unreal Tournament performs better now. Okay, well, the UI is a little laggy, but not nearly as bad as it was before. So let's leave everything on medium, 640 by 480. Minimum desired frame rate. Let's do, let's just leave it. Just to try and be in sync with what we did before. And let's start a session here. Oops, there we go. All right, I mean, running better, I think, compared to the slideshow that it was running before.
First blood.
I mean, yeah, this is much smoother, much more playable. Unfortunately, the frame counter here is not really presenting a frames per second that I could read. It's just telling me some information, which I guess is helpful, but we could just tell that this is running much smoother than it was before with the built-in graphics chipset. So that's a great improvement for this game, but we are still on just a 1 versus 1 map here, and I'm curious how this will handle a more crowded map. Let's change the options here just for funsies. We're gonna make this sweat 800 by 600. This poor thing. Actually, still running pretty smoothly. I mean, I could feel it chugging along a little bit more, but
Killing spree.
all right, we're definitely changing the resolution. All right, let's make this thing cry and push it to 1024 by 768. Oh, that looks beautiful though. Hey, that's not too bad actually.
Congratulations, you are the winner.
I mean, I wouldn't play it in that resolution, but it didn't do terribly, I guess. All right, so this map has 2 enemies. Let's see how badly I can play this.
Double kill.
All right, it severely dips, but it's still playable. As I miss the character, I say it's still playable. All right, so yeah, it was okay, but certainly there are limits to this setup even with a better graphics card. I wonder if the graphics corruption went away with Roller Coaster Tycoon. All right, so let's load our fun that we had here before. Let me turn off the speakers for a second. Oh my gosh, the fan in this thing is going nuts! Oh, you poor computer, you. I guess they're commenting my entrance fee is cheap. Well, we'll see about that. Double the price. You can run at 800 by 600 fine. Even 1024 by 768 is okay as long as you're not scrolling around. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, let's put a SuperDisk drive inside of this computer so that sticker is no longer lying to us. Goodbye, silly 1.4 megabyte limits. Well, we hit a bit of a snag because this floppy drive is thinner than the SCSI version of the SuperDisk drive. You can see this has an extra bracket and there's a board on the underside of it. So when you put them side by side, you can see that the floppy drive here is thinner. So this one will not fit in the bay here, unfortunately. But I did discover that the IDE drive will fit in that bay. So we could just put that in there and hopefully that'll work. Now, one thing I did notice is that the button here for the floppy drive sticks out quite a way, and there is no button on this drive. However, getting a closer look at this, it seems that you could plant this button from this drive to this drive. So let's see if we can get that to work. Yeah, this original button is not going to fit, but maybe we could 3D print a replacement button, because the metal here faces down, where the metal on the original drive sticks straight out. So unfortunately, we don't have a direct way of putting this on here without breaking it. So we'll come back to that a little bit later. Well, even if we don't have the button there, let's install the drive and see if it'll work at all. Should be okay enough to test this thing. Yeah, that's fine. All right, I think that'll work. Standard diskette drive not found. That's because there's no longer a standard diskette drive in there. Yes, I know. Calm down. Calm down. 1.4 megabyte or 120 megabyte. Yeah, that's what we have installed. All right, let's see if my computer sees anything. So we have our floppy drive. A drive is not accessible. Let's just put in this SuperDisk and see if it reads it. Disk is not formatted. No. Well, it ejects, so we got that going for us. We have a G drive here, I just noticed that. What's that? Is that this? Hold on a second. That's a loud noise. No, that's something different. Okay. All right, let's just try regular floppy and see if that wants to work. Oh, that's not a good noise. Well, it does see that floppy disk. Oh God, that's a horrible noise. And let's try again with our SuperDisk floppy. No, I don't want to format it because I'm 99% sure there's data on there. I think there's one way to find out. Okay, so I tried this disk on another SuperDisk drive on a modern PC, and it read fine, and I was able to copy all the data off. So let's plug this disk into this computer again, and I'm going to let you listen to the fun noises it makes when it tries to read the disk. Yeah, I don't think it's actually going to format it, but I guess we could try. We'll do 120 megabytes as the capacity and do a quick erase. The capacity you specified is invalid for this disk. Do you want to write the disk as 720K? No. Let's try this. This is a 240 megabyte SuperDisk drive. Has a very short USB cable. Have no idea if Windows 98 will have any idea of what the heck to do with this thing. Let's try it out anyway with our remaining USB port. SuperDisk USB drive is detected. Windows is installing the software for your new hardware. Windows has found the new hardware. How about that? I doubted it. All right, maybe it's drive G. Maybe that's what the USB is now. No, let's reboot just to give it a chance here. Oh, wait, we have a new drive H. Sure, 3 floppy drives is good enough for anybody. Ah, that's the USB one. Okay, it's making noises. There we go. Reads a standard floppy there. Excellent. Ejects the floppy. So let's go ahead and eject that SuperDisk from that floppy drive and try the USB SuperDisk drive, which should read that perfectly. And let's open our H drive, or the Hope drive here. And there we go. We are loading SuperDisk files on a SuperDisk drive with a SuperDisk. The sticker on the front of the computer is finally accurate. Kind of. Oh, you stupid thing. Oh, these are pictures of VCF, I think. Yeah, there's my friend Dan from Userlandia. High definition photos. Like and subscribe. What a pain in the ass. So I think I'm almost done with this PC, but there is still one thing I'd like to try. It's one thing to have a floppy disk drive or a SuperDisk drive or even an iOmega zip drive. But what about the grandfather of all of these drives, the Bernoulli drive? So I have one of those I'm going to try out in this machine next. Now these disks are pretty large, and so the drive is equally large. So behind this door we no longer have a blank bezel. We have a Bernoulli drive with a whole 44 megabytes of capacity. This drive is plugged into our SCSI chain, and hopefully it'll just work. There it is. It sees our Bernoulli drive. At least I hope it's gonna work. Why is it taking so long? Come on. Why are you freezing? It's a drive. There's no disk in it. I'm sorry. Do you want me to put a disk in there? Oh God. Device not ready. Well, yeah, I didn't put a disk in there yet. Did you just turn ActiveX back on for some reason? Why? No. All right, let's see if it sees our Bernoulli drive. There we go, removable disk E. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I did try these disks on my Mac, and although it did see the disk, it didn't see that anything was on the disk. So I'm curious if it was in just an oddball format or if these are blank. Okay, it says the drive is not accessible. Maybe the disk has to be in there when we turn on the machine. Let's see if it blinks there. Yep, drive D, okay. It's funny because the door will close completely, so you'd never guess there's a Bernoulli drive in there with a disk sticking out. Okay, so I hope what I have to do is just simply get some iOmega drivers here. Apparently some of the iOmega disk tools still work with the Bernoulli drive. It is an older product of theirs, but we'll see if this helps at all. Oh, there we go. Installing a new drive may cause drive letters to change. To assign a drive letter, select a new drive letter in the pull-down list box just below the drive icon. Well, that's nice of it, but it doesn't really tell us what these devices are. I know that's our SCSI drive. This might still be the USB drive that we had disconnected, that SuperDisk drive. But I guess we'll just leave it as D for now. And yeah, driver and tools, we'll install that. Copy machine, disk copier, yeah, sure. And we're probably gonna have to reboot. Thank you for choosing iOmega. Aww. Oh, wow, there it is, Bernoulli 44. It even gave it a beautiful little icon. That's so cool. Let's go to properties. Use space 0, well, let's see. Drive not accessible. All right, let's reboot this thing. And let's see if any of that changes, huh? Interesting, it put a shortcut to the Bernoulli drive on our desktop there. And let's see if that light's still on. It is. I'm gonna leave that open just for a second. I know it interferes with the screen, sorry. But I wanna see if that light blinks at all. Yeah, still says it's not accessible. Let's try this iOmega software. Oh yeah, iOmega Tools was, I think, a different piece of software. I don't think it was included here, because that might give us the status of the drive, although, I mean, it looks like it works, but it just says it's not accessible. Oh, here we go, disk. 0 megabyte, status removable, disk life okay, format status long format recommended, format type unknown, field formatted no. Maybe the disk just needs to be formatted. Maybe it's as simple as that. ROM version 1.6 from 1990. Well, I guess, you know what? We could format this disk, maybe? Let's format it. Unable to format media type in drive. Oh, because I think we have the write protect switch on there. Yeah, so these disks are really cool. They have a big write protect switch there. So let's change that. That one's sort of, there we go. Very chonky. So hopefully now we should be able to write this disk. Nope, still does not want to format the disk, even with that write protect switch moved. Huh. All right, so we have a selection of SCSI things with this easy SCSI software. So let's see if it can help us determine what's going on here. So we have an iOmega drive. It sees it, the capacity is 0. Not supported, not supported. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't give us much. Media control, unlock. Let's see if it'll let it eject actually. Command is not supported, okay. Drive preparer. Cannot find a disk to create a partition on, okay. Oh boy. SCSI bench. Yeah, you know what? Let's benchmark this thing while we're at it. This SCSI card is pretty quick. It looks like we're getting about 8.4 megabytes per second or so. Well, unfortunately, it does give us this no host adapter error, check condition, medium error, and sort of stuff that I was seeing in the SCSI adapter BIOS screen. Unfortunately, I do not have a manual or anything for this Bernoulli 44 drive that would give me an idea of the jumper settings or anything like that. But if you have one, please let me know in the comments section. Although I could play around with this thing forever, I think we've pushed it to its limits. So I think it's time to shut it down. Well, that was educational. I don't know exactly what I expected from this machine, besides for it to have a SuperDisk drive inside. And yeah, I guess shame on me for not recognizing that it didn't when I picked it up. But all in all, was this worth $35? Maybe? It is a shame that SuperDisk drive that I installed didn't want to work, and the Bernoulli drive didn't want to work. I'm seeing a trend here. But yeah, I think it's about time to move on from this PC and tinker around with more interesting Apple-related things. Thank you very much for joining me on this detour of a PC shenanigans type thing. Don't forget, if you want to pick up your own Mac 84 shirts, they're available at shop.mac84.net. Links are in the video description. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you right here next time on Mac 84. I wonder if this will fit in the garbage can.